Okay, how unique is this? Look at this. These are all unclaimed packages. Coley unclaimed packages from Shine, Amazon, Chronopost. You can't open them. That's the only thing. And they're sold by the weight. So look at this. Nobody knows what's inside. So everybody's weighing the boxes and packages. Very, very cool.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on. I put my feet up. And we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling. Just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving.
So here we are at the tram stop, and literally just across the street is Leclerc, Nice and Roche Michel hypermarket. So there it is. This end of the hyper store, we've got patisserie, boulangerie. And then, of course, behind us is the actual Leclerc grocery store. You also have an eyeglass place, Optic 2000, and I will show you the appliance store, which looks like a great place to get things that maybe you forgot. A toaster, toaster oven, air fryer, hair dryer. Fabulous. I'll show you now. So here we have other services. Look, you can get pictures taken. You need a new passport photo. You need a photo for your carte vitale. There's an e-photo machine. If you're going to exchange your driver's license, you need to have an e-photo so that they can pull it up electronically when you do your application. There's a machine to do it right here in this part of the hyper store. And then we have Maison and Multimedia, and this is all kinds of things I was just telling you about. Look right here, what are we looking at? These look like comforters. And in there we have ironing boards, plastic, bins, toasters. I miss a toaster. We don't have a toaster. I want to come back here and either get a toaster or a toaster oven. I haven't been able to make toast since we moved here last April. So, and we have lamps back there, pillows. I'm just so excited that this is literally right off the Pont Michel tram stop on line 1. So now I'm going to start venturing into the grocery store. Hopefully they won't stop me from taking video. See, look how big that is. Pharmacy down there. Rows and rows. I had heard that Leclerc grocery stores are fabulous. I even read somewhere you can rent cars here real cheap. But this is our very first visit, so I haven't scoped out where the car rental thing is, or even if you can do that here at this location. Looks like these are video rentals of some sort. More people shopping over at the mystery box counter. These cakes look like king cakes that typically people buy at the New Year. Jeff was the one to get the little fev in his slice of king cake this year, and this is his very first little charm. So we're going to save these. From what I understand, depending on who makes the galette des rois, the charms will differ. So not everybody's cake comes with the same charms. Used to be years ago when I would buy these from my restaurant at a little French restaurant in the United States, and my purveyor would get them to me, and they always had little babies in them. But here in France, they have all kinds of little charms. So this is our very first. Look how good they look. There's Jeff waiting with his cart so we can see what we're going to buy. And here we have Christmas candy. It's 34% off. Of course, it's after Christmas and after New Year's. If you're doing baking, look at this almond powder. Looks like baking powder, Madagascar, vanilla. We've got the Bon Maman confiture on sale. So here we have 3 cans of tuna for $6.68. All kinds of smoked salmon. Alaska. And it's on sale, 30% off. Oh, we have, this looks like all salmon, beef. So let's see if we can find the beef filet de boeuf. What is that? That's porterhouse?
Looks like a T-bone, doesn't it?
Not sure. I don't know my beef types. So if you're burning wood, here are bags of wood chips. And then there's kerosene for people with kerosene heaters. I'm amazed that people are still using kerosene heaters to heat their homes, but apparently they are. There's wood over there for your fireplace, more wood chips for your wood stove, cat food. It's very interesting. There's tuna. It looks like it already has mayonnaise on it. I'm not sure I'd want to try that. This tuna has tomato sauce on it. Okay, I'm not into that. I just want plain tuna. This looks good. We have all kinds of soups. I just don't see stuff like this at the Monoprix. At the Monoprix, the closest I can come is bouillon. But here we have tomato, vegetable, all kinds of things. We have bags of spices. I'm always looking for cinnamon sticks to put in my vin chaud. There's a little bag of them. Cannelle. They're great. You just take a glass of Merlot, a cup of Merlot, put it in the microwave. It comes out, throw a cinnamon stick in there, and you have hot spiced wine. Yummy. Somebody was recently talking about peanut butter, finding peanut butter. They don't have any of our U.S. brands here, but they definitely have peanut butter from peanuts, actual peanut butter here. Longest row in the world of just pasta. Okay, I don't know if it's the longest one in the world, but this is an entire aisle. The entire thing is filled with pasta. Italian pasta, pasta from all over the place. then we have sauces over this way. Okay, lots of different kinds of coffee here too. Brazil, Ethiopia, Kenya, Colombia. And don't forget, if you're grinding your own beans, you need to look for gram. Gram, those are the beans. Missing your sandwich bread from back in the U.S. There's a whole row of all kinds of bread and hot dog rolls and you name it. All you need is a toaster. And just across the way from this part of the big store is the place where you can buy a toaster cheap. This is very interesting. When you were a child, did you ask your mom to cut the crust off the bread? Look at this. No crust, just bread. And we made it to the candy aisle. Will we find Hershey Kisses, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Baby Ruths? So far, no. But we do find some clever little things. Interesting little bubble gums. Not my kind of thing. I don't want to lose a filling. Always find Nestle Crunch here in France. So far, never had a problem. And here we are. Twix, Snickers, and of course, one of Jeff's favorite, peanut M&Ms. Oh, Jeff, are you putting them back? I was trying to decide, big bag, little bag. How many do I need? Crispy M&Ms. Do I need some Kit Kat bars? Oh, he's going for the crispy M&Ms and the peanut M&Ms. Looking for something to put on your toast, and your baguette, lots of confiture. Our favorite brand, of course, is Bon Maman. And they have lots of it here. And you'll find Nutella all over the place here in France. It's a hazelnut chocolate spread. I just can't get into it. For me, it's got to be all chocolate or nothing. You know, go big or go home. And we're in the refrigerated cases. Cheeses, very bright, lots of cheeses and things. And here we have all kinds of fruits and vegetables here. Huge produce area. Anybody for some lychees from Madagascar? All different kinds of pears. I like that here in France they tell you where everything comes from. See, fine. This is a great deal. Look how many carrots are in here. 3 kilograms, $2.49 for that bag. The only problem is, who's got a refrigerator big enough to keep all these carrots in it? Not us.
And here today we have a wise shopper picking just the right tomato and getting them into the bag to take them out to the cash register. Here at the world's largest produce department with wide aisles and no weighing required. And off she goes to find her next big. But it looks like our shopper has found artichokes and she's bagging them up. Oh, interesting, I must say.
Lots of checkout lines in this store, all the way across the store. And way down there, that's the self-checkout, where you see all those little green lights way down there. It's a huge store. I know we'll be back, and we've got to see a part of Nice we haven't seen before. So there's the entrance. Leclerc, Nice, Saint-Roch, Paul Michel. And literally just across the street is the tram. Couldn't get it any easier to find this place. So there it is. If you've never been here, you gotta come check it out. It makes shopping fun and interesting, especially if you happen to like to cook. All kinds of interesting foods there. For me, it was an adventure. The only thing is you can't really get frozen things unless you bring a cooler or something. I know for us, it's like a half hour back on the tram. So we couldn't get any ice cream. Jeff, what did you think of the store?
Well, I gotta admit, it was quite a little journey to get out here, but as you explore different parts of Nice, this is out in what I would call the bushes, away from the middle of the city. Interesting to see, more modern look, less of the old Parisian style buildings.
Okay.
Okay?
What did you think of the store?
Oh, the store was a lot to see, a lot to check out. Let's get the tram and head back. So wherever you go in Italy or here in Nice, when you go to an outdoor market, the fresh markets that come to towns, or just a produce market, you're going to find that it's artichoke season. And so I have made artichokes before. My husband has never had artichokes. So yesterday we checked out the new, well, it's not new in general, but it was new to us. We had never been to a Leclerc grocery store. And I had heard other people talk about how wonderful it is. It's like, I don't want to say Disneyland for grocery stores, but it's a whole lot different, better I should say, a whole lot better than our local Monoprix, which is a big Monoprix here in Nice. So while I was there, I got a bunch of artichokes. Now there are only two of us, so this may be overkill. And I got some green ones, and I did the purple ones. Normally, I've only done the green ones, so I'm not sure if the purple ones are going to taste any different. So I'm going to make the artichokes, and I am then going to put together a little sauce, a dipping sauce, so that Jeff can try artichokes, fresh artichokes, and see if he likes them. And I know I love them, but this sauce is new. In the past, when I have done artichokes over the years, I just melt butter, and they are delicious dipped in butter. And basically what you're going to do is these leaves come off. First I'm going to snip them, as you'll see, and the leaves come off after it's all cooked and everything's soft. You'll just pull on the leaf, it comes right out, and then you scrape the leaf with the top of your teeth, or the bottom of your top teeth, I should say. You scrape it, and it brings all this delicious artichoke off. And the entire time you're eating all the way around one artichoke, working your way to the heart of the artichoke, which is the absolute best part. And then you take that and you cut it up in a few pieces, dip it in the butter or the dipping sauce, if you will. You're picking out the artichokes. I should have said this before. I like to pick them out where they look nice and green on the outside like this. This one looks a little older, and it had some leaves on it that sort of were darkish colored. I cut off a lot of the outer bottom leaves simply because I just didn't like the way they look. So I think this artichoke is a little bit older than these other artichokes. They all still feel very soft and fresh, but just keep that in mind. And these little ones feel very soft, so they're like baby ones. I'll bet these are going to be the best, but we'll see. And it's a wonderful, delightful snack or something to have for apéro, or you could even do a whole meal. You could do lunch of just artichokes, especially if you're a senior like us and you're retired. You can make all your own rules. It doesn't have to be a full meal of anything, but you can make a meal of anything, right? Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut off the long stem. Okay, so that's one. Purple ones that came sort of in a group, come apart. Okay, and then I'm going to toss all of this. Unfortunately, we don't have compost here in the apartment, so it's just going to go in the garbage can. Okay, next, I'm going to start snipping these little corners off, just like that. Of course, they're falling all over my floor. I'm trying to do a close-up for you of snipping the corners off. And making a mess on my kitchen floor. I think you get the idea of what I'm doing here. So you go all around the entire artichoke, snipping the ends, the pointy end off the top, because you don't really want that. And it's going to look like this all the way around. So I'm going to go do that. Okay, so now I've got them all trimmed. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to cut off from about here off. You're just going to chop off the top of that. Okay, this does not look like the knife to do it with. Let me find something else. Let's try this one. Okay, don't like that one either. Try this one. When you know it, the serrated bread knife worked. Okay, so now it's going to look like this inside. Okay, so now the question is, how do we cook the artichokes? Some people boil them. They'll put them all in a pot, fill the pot with water. Typically, you should steam them. Unfortunately, I don't have a steamer. So what I have done is I've put a little bit of water in the bottom of this pot. And I put the artichokes in here. And I will basically steam them. If you put them in boiling water and too much water, it makes them waterlogged, and you really don't want to do that. So anyway, if you've got like a steamer, you can sit in between the artichokes and the water, all the better. I don't. But I'm going to have to do here is keep an eye on them so that I don't run out of water. I may have to add water periodically through here. So I will turn them on. Now they need to cook for about 30 minutes, I would say. You want to cook them until they're tender. And generally what I do is I stick a fork in the bottom here to see if it feels soft. Sort of like I kind of compare it to the feel of a baked potato. If you slide the fork in, you know what a baked potato feels like in the oven, so you know if it's done. Well, the same thing on these. So when it's that soft, then you know it is done. Okay, now I'm going to start working on the sauce. So, I got a bowl, I got my measuring spoons, creme fraiche, mayonnaise, mustard, and I have chopped 2 cloves of garlic, really tiny. You could even grate this. I just don't feel like grating right now, so chopping is just as easy. So now there are recipes. The recipe I'm using actually calls for using yogurt. I don't care for yogurt, so I am going to use creme fraiche. And the brand of creme fraiche that I like is this one. This is the same company that makes the butter that I absolutely adore, that has the sea salt crystals in it. So I went right for this brand of creme fraiche. And creme fraiche, if you're not familiar, it's like sour cream, but it's missing there's like a little bit of tartness in sour cream that you get in the US. Creme fraiche seems to not have that, but it's the closest thing. So instead of using yogurt in my dipping sauce, I am using the creme fraiche. So, and we're going to use some lemon. So the first thing that I am going to need is half of a cup of creme fraiche. And I'm going to use a larger spoon to spoon these things into the measuring cup. Okay, so we need half of a cup mayonnaise, I might have to get another bottle. We have these little bottles. The day that I went to buy mayonnaise, they didn't have bigger bottles, and they don't have large bottles of mayonnaise here in Nice, anyway. They're as big as the bottles of mayonnaise that you buy in the US grocery store. And now we'll come back over here and take a look at our artichokes. And now I don't want any of them to be just sitting in the water, so I'm going to rotate them. I'm going to rotate them a little bit. Get that little one out of the water. There we go. And I put the lid back on those while I come back over to work on the sauce. Okay, so I've got my creme fraiche in there. I've got my mayonnaise in there. Now I'm going to put the garlic in there. And now the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Let's get the seeds out of there. There's one. Second, and then we want a teaspoon of mustard, and I am using Dijon. So this is the brand of Dijon that I use is my. Mustard right in there. Okay, so I've got this all together now, and I'm just gonna whisk it. Nice and smooth. At this point, I am going to cover this with plastic wrap. And just put it in the refrigerator and let it sit and let the flavors meld together so that when the artichokes are finished, cool a little bit, we can sit down and try out our first artichokes of the season. So we'll be back soon. Okay, so here we are back at my pot, and I will try the first one. Perfect. So I will put that on a plate. Something tells me the other little one's going to be ready as well. Yes, perfect. Now you really want to stand them up like this. All right, now we'll check the big ones. Okay, I'm gonna pull this one out. And let me check the others. Okay, this one still needs some time. And so did this one. Okay, so the 2 biggest ones are going to stay in here for a little bit longer. So here we are. We just sat down to try out the artichokes. Now, this is the artichoke dip that I showed you before. The last thing I'm going to do is just give it a few crunches of fresh ground black pepper. If you've got some chives, fresh chives, you could do a splash of those in there. Now, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put some of the sauce in our little cups. Jeff, I'll give you some. We also have some melted butter. Sometimes people prefer melted butter with theirs. Okay, there you have that. Okay, we're not being fancy with our bowls tonight, and I started with the smallest artichokes since Jeff is new to the whole artichoke thing. So, we are sipping on a, what is this? This is a white blend called Côte de Tarn. I have to tell you, it's like the cheapest wine, and it is so delicious. We picked this up at Monoprix for what?
€3.50.
€3.50. Okay, I'm sorry, not Monoprix. We pick it up at the Intermarché, and I use this for everything. It's like an everyday drinking wine. I use it for coq au vin when I do it with chicken. It's wonderful. So this is what we are having tonight. We've got some ice in there because it wasn't cold.
Cheers.
Okay, so
Yes.
how to eat an artichoke. The artichoke has all these little leaves, and the first thing you're going to do is break off the first outer leaf. Now, on the leaf you see a soft fleshy part. Let me show you up here. See this soft fleshy part? You're going to scrape that with your teeth. Like, let me show you. I'm going to dip it in hot melted butter. And basically, you're going to scrape the fleshy part of the artichoke right off of that leaf, like that. And that's it on each leaf. And you go down all the way through until you get to the heart of it. Did you get it, Jeff?
I did.
Okay, now try some with this delicious artichoke dipping sauce that I made. Mmm, yummy, very garlicky.
Interesting.
What do you think?
Very good.
And this is it. It's that simple. Now, will we get to all of these artichokes? There are only 2 of us. Typically, if I was doing this in the past, I would make 1 artichoke per person and use it as an appetizer before dinner. It's great for apéro with a glass of wine, which is really what we're doing here. We'll probably have dinner later on. So we're just doing this. We'll probably do 1, maybe go to a second one, maybe share it, or maybe save these for another day. You can eat these either hot, cold, room temperature, and as you can see, you just, if you're using the sauce, you just keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. If you're using melted butter, it's as easy as throwing it in the microwave for 20-30 seconds. So, thanks so much for watching. We hope it gave you something new to do at home when it's artichoke season in your part of the world. And we'll go back to eating our artichokes, right, Jeff?
Yes. Cheers.
Okay, so as you can see, we have gone beyond the other artichokes. We've each taken one of the big green ones, put the butter in the center so we can reach it. And now we are at the point on this one where I am down to a heart. So let me show you. So here is the heart. Now, I don't want all of this stuff. So you don't want this, all this like hairy stuff. So I scoop it out like this. It's little Bella saying hello. Now, one of the earlier artichokes, Jeff didn't realize what he was supposed to do. This is the part he ate. It's actually the part you have to throw away. Okay, so you take all this off. All of this, put it in our bowl of discards. Okay, so then you're left with this delicious heart. And then I just cut it in quarters or smaller. Pick up a piece of the heart. Delicious. Okay. Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.